Now you can hear me.
Yay!
And I can hear you.
Yay!
And I can hear two of you, so I'm going to fix that quick. Alright.
Two of me.
Yeah, I only need one of you. One of you is enough. Alright, hello everybody. Now I can go announce to everyone that we're live, so give me a second. And
We
I'll do
are
that.
late because of, and this was a new technical issue. Skype, first of all, would not let Dave see my video, and then it wouldn't let me call Dave back for reasons that only Skype knows.
It was super exciting for me.
I'm sure it was. I fucking hate Skype. I just don't understand why. Like,
everyone hates Skype. Nobody likes Skype. Everyone thinks it's just the worst. And that's how it is.
Do you remember when it used to be the best and everyone was excited?
I do remember that, but then it became the worst. Oh, okay. That's a separate issue I can talk about later. It was really cool, yeah, when it was like a new technology. It was like, oh my god, I can call a person on the phone. How exciting, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden everyone was like, no.
No. Right, okay, I'm going to start streaming my PlayStation as well.
Okay.
Because I will inevitably be in a queue. 44 people. Right. What's this? So Dave is trying to go shopping for yukata, which I thought was generally for
shopping
ladies.
For. I was looking around because I was just curious. It was one of those things where I was like, I live in a major city. I live in maybe the major city, as we would say. And like, do we have a place here? Awe-inspiring Skype difficulty. Do we have a place here that you could get a custom, like a kimono or yukata, like what? Because I have one. I have one that I got in 2007 when I went to Tokyo before I even knew Gemma.
So they do male yukata, but I have to be honest. Like, if you go to the summer festivals, they're usually wearing something else, a different thing that I have seen. And I've forgotten what the name is, which I'm trying to find up now. Because they look a little bit dressing gowny sometimes. You might not be so comfortable.
Is it with the haori?
Hakata, is that what I'm trying to look for? No, that's not the right word. Oh god. I don't wear the man version. Okay. What do Japanese men? We are learning. They are so comfortable. It's just that, you know, Dave is an American, and I understand that hakama. I understand.
Isn't the hakama pants? It's a type of pants. Or maybe it comes in pants and another, and I'm just used to hearing about the pants part.
It may be, yeah, maybe they just have but the ladies wear hakama as well. Do you know what? We need someone who actually knows what they're talking about, which is obviously none of us.
We do. We need an expert.
Yeah.
Wait, hakama. I'm gonna Google. Yeah, what's hakama? It's a type of clothing. It stemmed from trousers worn by the Chinese imperial court, but was adopted by the Japanese. They're tied at the waist and fall approximately to the ankles. They're worn over a kimono, but that's specially adapted for wearing hakama. This is what Wikipedia says. I'm reading Wikipedia.
That sounds quite right. I'm just going to start queuing whilst we're
There are two kinds, umanori and undivided andon bakama. The umanori type are divided into two legs and are thusly for riding horses. And there's a kind that's narrower in the leg and looser in the waist, traditionally worn by field or forest workers, I guess to help them walk around in the field or forest. Interesting.
Yeah, you know, I'm not au fait with what men wear at the summer festivals. It's just sometimes, like, because yukata, like, they're very comfortable, but they're very thin.
Yeah, if I remember right, it was for, you would wear them almost inside, like
you wear them to like firework festivals. So yeah, you can wear them if you're definitely if you're like at an onsen or something. You wear them kind of more like a dressing gown. Like, oh, I'm going down to the onsen and I'm going to get naked in the onsen and I'm going to put them back on to go back to my room. Right. This is my version of how men put their dressing.
Yeah, we just kind of dance around between states of dress and undress.
But then you also, for like firework festivals and stuff, they also wear yukata. But
is that because it's summer? Again, these are just
summer,
stuff I've heard. So it's like it's summertime.
It's super comfortable to wear. But yeah, it might just be a little bit. You might feel compromised as an American who definitely is, you know, liking to put a shield between yourself and the outside world.
I was going to say, the one I have, it is very thin and light. It covers my butt. Like, if I wore it, if I was trapped outside wearing this, I wouldn't feel naked. Because it definitely covers and obscures my body. But, like, it's a very light garment. It's a very light garment.
Yeah.
Now, like right now, when it's like 80, 90 degrees out, I'd be pretty cool with wearing that out and about.
Yeah.
But it might even be a little bit like Bedouin robes almost, where like it's kind of good that it covers you from the sun more.
Yes.
Like those, like people who wear robes in desert environments wear it because it covers them from the sun.
Yeah.
Even though it looks like it's a heavy garment and you want to wear just like less clothes.
It's very breathable though. Wait, I've got my yukata here. Let me go grab my yukata.
It's 100% cotton, mine. It's 100% cotton.
2 seconds. I've got mine. I got it out earlier.
Oh. I'm hyped for this. Hashtag hype for yukata. Oh my god, we have another person who needs banning. Time to ban them. Hold on. And by the way, the person who needs banning is this person who's trying to buy followers, because maybe we should buy. Who thinks we should buy followers?
Yeah, they won't follow us for very long, even if we paid them. Yeah, this is my yukata.
How do I ban?
And you can, if I hold it up, you can see it's quite transparent. It also needs a wash.
Where is the problem? Any chat message?
Yeah, I've had this for a lot of years though, so it probably does need a wash. But yeah, he said it's 100% cotton, and has like an obi, a belt that's a bit thicker. I will say, even as a lady, these are very popular, but like it's quite difficult sometimes when you're not like Japanese people are quite slim, quite flat, not as bumpy as maybe the Western compatriots are, and I have found can be a bit difficult sometimes to wear one, because I always feel like it's trying to gap on me, whereas the Japanese girls do look really nice in them. But I have to be honest, and maybe this is where I know there's a lot of arguments in America about wearing things like yukata and kimono, but when I wore one in Japan to like the appropriate context, I'm not just like wandering around all the time, but like when I was wearing them to the fireworks festivals and stuff, everyone was really happy that I was embracing what should be done there.
Here we go. That's weird. I minimized your window by accident. Your Q popped. You did it. All right.
Then unpopped again, but yeah. Let's try it. Oh, there you go. But so I would, if you go to Japan and you go to a fireworks festival or some other location that is appropriate for yukata or kimono, you should just wear one. I think most Japanese people there will be super hyped to see you.
I feel really bad. Twitch. I have failed Twitch.
The name of it might just be obi. Like obi is like that catch-all for all belts. Even like when you buy those books, those Japanese books, and they have like a little kind of band of paper around with the advertising content on. That's also called an obi.
Oh my god, I gotta fix Gemma's screen resolution here. I think it's a little big, so we can see everything properly. Okay, now we can see everything properly. Perfect. No, I missed something. I missed something important.
Right.
Which is Doitsu Junkie has rated us for the past 2 weeks during our stream. It doesn't tell me.
Does it not?
What?
Does it not?
It doesn't tell me in my restream setup, so I wasn't able to see. And I'm sorry, Doitsu Junkie, if you're there. We appreciate you, and thank you.
You're so rude,
for
Dave.
joining us. And I should, I'm so bad at Twitch. It's real bad.
I thought it came up in the chat, though, or it should do.
It comes up in this activity feed thing that now I'm going to keep an eye on. So, and thank you for the follow, Foregathers. I appreciate you. Although, why didn't we get a little pop-up thing for our follow?
No, we didn't get that either.
Oh, it was 15 minutes. I think it was before we started. I think it was before we'd started streaming properly. Oh, it's all good, Carol.
Thank you, Joe.
I hope that went well, by the way. I remember you were talking about getting started. Oh, look at this hand. We can talk about tiles. What do we got here? We got the 2, 3, 4 Ipeco option. We got 2 door. Gemma, what are you doing? This is hashtag Gemma's big hands.
Quiet, yeah. Because I did so badly last week. I want to kind of make up a bit, don't I?
Can I scooch? I'm going to scooch this over a little if I can.
I am now quite upset that my yukata smells quite as poorly as it does. I should have solved that. I've had this since I was a student, though. I must have worn it last when I
Let's
was
scoot that over a little.
20 years old. So let's not talk about how many years ago that was.
Oh my god. Wait, we still can't see the home account. We need to see the home account.
Your team made
Oh,
the
yeah.
finals? Oh, congratulations. Congratulations.
Sorry, I'm making sure that I get this right for everyone. Alright, there we go. Now we can see everything very clearly. Oh no!
What were you
It
wearing
was
a
just
quick
a
match
little
here?
sumo that snuck this out
sumo.
from under you, which sucks because you had all the good tiles. Alright, now we can focus. Sorry. I needed to... Ooh, this is also pretty solid here.
No Dora this time, though.
No Dora this time around. Yet. Just wait.
Yet.
Just
Yet.
wait. You'll get Dora'd up.
But yeah, I think maybe with climate change, we're all going to have to wear something similar to yukata, and the new temperatures
be
will have to
worse.
exist in.
You're two Shantae right now. That's pretty sweet. Oh, so I'm supposed to ask you about Oban. I don't know what people want to know about Oban, but I'm being Oban. Obon. Oban.
Yeah, Obon is I'm going to say Halloween, but that's a little bit reductive. Yeah, it's the Japanese Ghost Festival. It happens. You know what? Like, again, I'm probably not the right person because I don't know all the details. But yeah, like, it's a celebration, and you got to kind of scare away the evil spirits that might come. So I know that one of the customs, and I'm hoping I'm getting this right, Obon. So Obon goes on for a month, right? But they get lots of time off. And one of the customs is that if you're running a business, like a bar or a restaurant or something, like someone will dress up as a demon, which basically just means they'll put a mask on and then pretend to come in and cause some chaos, and then people throw rice at them to send them on their way. Yeah, so it's Halloween's just like one day. So I guess it's more like, I think most cultures have this idea that there's like a month or a period in the year when we're all a little bit closer to the spirits.
Hmm.
And that's the same in Japan. That's basically what Obon is that it's time when the sort of
You want to get to a Tanyo, maybe?
don't think it's too far for Tanyo, but yeah, it's a time when the demarcation between
too far.
our mortal world and the world of the spirits is a little bit closer.
If you get like a 7-so or something, or a 5-so, then it's worth making the step, I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah, so it could be beans. Yeah, it's the. To be honest, most of the stuff I've seen thrown is paper because they don't throw good stuff.
You're not gonna throw like legit food. I like your discards though. I like this Honroto Chitoi discard pool that we got going on here.
Painful. I was thinking of the Chinese Vietnamese Buddhist Ghost Festival. Yeah, and you know what? Like it has some of the Japanese native religious elements in there, but they've mixed it in with Buddhism as well. Like all good things. Buddhism is like the I'm not going to say oppressive, but it's the foreign religion that has come in. And
why did we throw the 5-pin and not the 9-pin?
Because we're going to go for a Dianpeiko. Why would I cut that off?
Okay. No, I see now.
There's no reason to.
Dianpeiko is the sneakiest hand because anytime it looks like you might get it, you don't. But it is valuable. It would be a good hand to get. So fair, very fair.
I don't think the spirits play Mahjong. I don't think it's old enough for them to play Mahjong.
All right. Well, we got a Dora flip. Ooh. Probably, yeah. That's probably the right... Yeah, what you did is probably right there. Because now you got the potential Pinfu. You can take the 6... Well, you threw a 6 already, so... Well, we'll see what happens. But I think it widens that in a good
It does
way.
widen it, yeah.
Yeah. Like garlic over there. You have a pair of east, south, and west, and
yeah.
chins.
So if I get the
God.
7 pin pairs, that it won't get you can't stack Chitoi with
No.
You can't stack Chitoi with Dianpeiko. It's one of those things.
Is this worth reaching?
I don't think so. There's not enough time really.
The Dora.
Even then, I'm prepared to drop this if necessary. Although that 3-pin looks pretty safe.
It should be okay.
Yeah. Yes, you
Alright,
can't
like
stack Chitoi with Dianpeiko, which is important to remember. Another thing about Chitoi is it has to be 7 different pairs, which is different from MCR.
That was a last tile Dora discard.
Yeah, that was painful for not me, but that's fine.
I'm gonna
Yeah, so
call
you can't stack Chitoi with Sorry, you can't stack Chitoi around Peiko, and Chitoi has to be 7 different pairs, which is unlike most other Mahjong rules where you can have 4 of the same and it still count towards your 7 pairs.
Oh yeah, of course you can't stack Chitoi for Ryonpeiko with Ryonpeiko, because if you're considering your hand to be 7 pairs, you are not considering it to be any sequences of 3, and so having 2 identical or 2 sets of 2 identical sequences of 3 is not possible because of how you're considering it.
It's one of those things that you always get someone always scratching their head working out what they can do with it. It's,
Yeah.
And the thing is, that question is always asked in the middle of an event as well. And of course, people want to double check. Like why would you throw away the opportunity just because you're too embarrassed to ask?
That's why. That right there is why. Actually, at the store I was looking at where they were selling those yukata, they had a little frequently asked questions. One of the frequently asked questions was, "Can non-Japanese people wear kimonos?" And I had a kind of conversation about it. I thought it was interesting, where it's like, first of all, it just my normal humorous self was like, I really wish that their answer had just been one word, like nope. Just like, no, sorry. Oh my, Gemma.
Oh, I have to dream hard.
This is nuts.
I have to dream.
This is like last hand, but you didn't throw the tiles away.
Yeah.
Oh wait, the East is dead though.
The East is dead, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Should throw it away really, but I can still get a good scoring point hand here.
Oh, you can still get a half flush.
The only problem is this 3-man is right next to the door.
Yeah.
Get rid of that. I don't know. I really feel like this is a uniquely American problem. Like,
no, to be honest, the opinion I had on it is I think it makes sense to ask, just to ask, because a lot of times, things that Western culture has grabbed as being iconic about other cultures are also things that are maybe core religious ceremonies, or like things that you shouldn't just do. Like, for example, I think the example I used when talking about it is like, yeah, I can wear a kimono, but like wearing the garb of a Shinto priest would be weird.
Yeah, that would be not appropriate.
That's something I really shouldn't be doing. And if I literally just out of pure I don't know, and I look at them like, those clothes are cool, can I wear those clothes? I would appreciate someone telling me, you really shouldn't wear those clothes, because those clothes are ceremonial clothes of a particular person. They're not really for you.
Yeah.
And so I don't think it's crazy to ask the question respectfully and to get that answer. But I did think it would be funny if they were just like, sorry, no.
Out of our store.
No.
Yeah, I think, I agree heavily on that. Like, there are some things that if you were to do, as I said, mostly religious things, there'd be a sharp intake of breath, and like, oh, I'd leave that one alone.
Yeah, it's just a little weird. It'd be like someone in Japan dressing like a priest, a little bit, where it's just like you're wearing the priest collar, and it's like, why? That's weird. Like, that's not what you would do.
But yukata are just like regular clothes, right? It would be like us getting upset if we saw non-Americans wearing jeans. He'd be like,
what the fuck?
How dare they? How dare they wear clothes? It's
that's
not a religious
our costume.
Icon.
I will say it's weird. I mean, fundamentally, I just look weird wearing a kimono. Like, if I put on a kimono and wore it around town, people would be like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, so I've worn a proper kimono when I was abroad. You got to remember this was in the early 2000s.
I've always been abroad.
I have always been abroad. This has been the long. COVID has grounded me. Okay, but when I was in Japan and I was studying, really, no one talked about cultural appropriation then, so it didn't even cross my little mind. But I was staying with a guest, with a family, and they wanted to dress me up in kimono. And it's a whole ritual, to get you dressed up, and you've got to put layer upon layer upon layer, and it's really, really heavy. So I've tried kimono as well, and I forgot where I was going with this. Yeah, everyone is excited, I think, because they've got you over. They want you to experience their culture, and for them, especially for women, having the ritual of someone dressing you up in a kimono is kind of intimate. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's like having a dressing helper at all. Like, I've never had anyone bother helping me dress. They're always just like, sure, hope you don't fuck it up.
and they they want to do that. Oh, damn it. And they want to do that, right? They want to share, and they want to give you an experience that only they can give you, and that is painful as hell. So after that, I said I was going to do better this weekend. I can't. But yeah, so and So kind of a bit the same. I'm trying to think of what you could do as Brits, but the thing is, Brits has been an aggressive culture. We just forced everyone to do what we wanted anyway, so we have less of those things, I
Yeah.
suppose, right?
It is interesting about the yarmulke, where the
Oh,
yarmulke
is that
is
how you
something that
spell yarmulke? Do you know what?
yeah,
I'm
that is
really
actually
glad
how
you
you spell
because
yarmulke.
I needed to look that up for some reason. I realized I had zero idea how to spell the word because that's not
But
how
like
it sounds to me.
the yarmulke is an interesting situation where it is a religious object or a religious kind of obligation, but it's also encouraged for guests to do it.
Right.
I feel like many religious obligations, guests at a religious ceremony are kind of told like maybe you shouldn't partake in this because it's not really what you do. Like
Mm.
I'm thinking of taking communion in the Catholic Church or some things like that.
Oh, you're not allowed
Um,
to take communion there if you're not baptized. So that's
well,
that.
they won't stop you.
Oh no, here they'd stop you. Because
They
I'm
can't
not
stop
baptized.
me.
Yeah, I'm baptized. I'm not baptized. I'm not christened either. I'm not baptized or christened. So if I go to church, I'm not actually allowed to take the bread and the wine. They'll bless me, but they won't give me the bread and the wine, the blood. It's basically
Well, like if
they
I
won't
if
let
I
me
go
partake of his flesh.
if I go to a Catholic mass, yeah, exactly, they can't prove it. They're not gonna hold me up by the altar and be like, "Look, buddy, you got to show me your Catholic license to
Yeah,
prove that you're allowed to
because
do
that's
this."
like Methodists are the best. Methodists fucking
And
rock.
a lot of people get into a really awkward position where they're at the Catholic service for some reason or another because they have to be there, and then like everyone gets up to go get communion, and so they're like, "Crap, what do I do?" And so they'll get up and they'll go do it because everyone's doing it. So, again, this is not meant to be
Okay,
disrespectful. They're just
so
thinking, "I'll do the thing that
I
everyone's
think that
doing."
might be an
Ooh,
American
flip.
problem again, though, because
Hmm.
here you have to tell your home parish church if you're a Catholic that you are going to take communion in another church and get the permission because
Oh wow.
it's all a big network here, because they all
But
know
what
each
if
other.
you walked in and did it? Would they know?
How can you walk in and do it without the priest saying yes, you can take it?
Because don't
They
they?
they
Okay,
feed it to
again,
you. They feed it to you. They shove it
yeah,
in your
but do
gob.
they know everyone by face?
Yes, that's their
If
bloody
someone they
job.
don't know is
That's
there, they're gonna be like,
literally all they have to do. Yes.
okay, so if someone they don't know shows up to take communion, they're gonna be like, whoa, buddy, I don't know you.
No, what they'll do is they'll say you can come up, but we'll only bless you.
Yeah, yeah, but they'll stop you. They'll be like, I'm not giving you this crap. You can get a wave from Jesus until I know who you are.
Yeah, because they're not
Okay,
allowed to give you communion until you've
that's
been
interesting. They're very strict about it.
baptized. They are strict. So even like so, for an example, we were saying we are joking that
Catholic
in
license.
Germany, if you go to register your residency at the city hall, they always ask you whether you're religious.
Hmm.
And then if they find out you're Catholic, they will contact for you your city, your state, like the government will contact your parish back in wherever
Fucking something parochial.
to confirm your details, and then because they take tithe, right? They take a tax off you as well if you say that you're Christian, and they'll send some of it back to your home parish. I was like, wait, what? So this is something that the Brits always warned each other if they moved to Germany, because we're like infamous for when someone says, "Are you religious?" We're like, "Yeah, Christian, fine, whatever," because it's like for
Oh, but
some
if that happens, then they will actually
they
take
will
a,
actually take
a
your
an
money, right?
economic. That's so
I
weird.
know, because for us, like when you say Christian, it's like that's the default answer, right? That's the answer which seems to have the less statement
I take
attached to
offense
it.
at that, but sure.
But okay, yeah, I know, but then that's a cultural thing, right?
Yeah.
You're not.
Yeah.
I don't. None of these people saying Christian. Most of them probably don't haven't stepped foot in a church for a long time. But a lot of us were raised as not raised, but we had to go to Church of England schools. Because
Hmm.
when I was a kid, religion and education were still stuck together. Yeah.
The three so I know, seriously.
I talked so parochial. Hi, Charles. Yeah. So, but yeah, like, yeah, no, you shouldn't take.
So let
I'm
me ask you a mahjong question. Would you con the seven man?
not now, but yes, before he
Not
did
now
that.
that it's reached. Yeah, that's true. Oh, three so. Oh,
uh, so yeah. Anyway, yeah. Where are we going with this? Yeah. So yeah. Yeah. I went to and I because I'm a rude, ignorant twat. I cannot remember the name of the type of ceremony it was, but I went to a Pakistani wedding. I'm gonna work out. Um, and I was asked to wear a headscarf at the wedding.
hmm.
Um, I wouldn't normally because, as you said, like I feel like maybe it's a little bit rude to take on someone's religious garb, but
Well, they
they
come
were
on by default
there.
if they're not going to tell you that they expect it. Although I will say, many years ago, and this is a weird situation, but I wouldn't attend someone's wedding
Mm.
because they were doing a super orthodox Jewish wedding, and they were like, well, we're going to have the men and the women separated, and we're going to do that. And it's like, I can't.
Yeah.
I have very strong anti feelings about that, and I guess also partially because it's my own culture, so I have more right to be like, I have strong opinions about it. Is that a sumo?
Yeah, this, do you know, I can't quite see this guy.
Whew.
I feel like this North has had big hands, but
After that big deal in, they punched their way back up towards the top. They really,
Okay.
yeah, they made a goof, and then they fixed their mistake pretty aggressively there.
Yeah, I can understand if it's your own culture. Yeah, because I feel I've got less of a right to tell people how their own culture celebration should go.
Yeah, like there's a lot of stuff I don't care about, but that weird like separating like it goes back to that weird idea of like if a man sees a woman, he's gonna freak out because he can't deal with looking at a woman, so you got to keep them all separate. It's like that kind of stuff. I really don't like. It really upsets me. And if it was someone else's culture, I'd feel a little more hesitant about speaking up about it. But
No, you've
with
always
my
got an
own,
option
like,
to not attend. If you attend, I think,
no, I wouldn't like go and make a fuss. That's
Yeah.
incredibly rude.
yeah,
Incredibly rude.
you've got to just, roll with it then, right? But
Yeah.
I don't know, like having to, it wasn't, I'm not sure, it's because they've got different names for all the different types of headscarves as well, and I do not know them. Yeah, it's just the one
Yeah,
where
I
you
also-
wrap around your head,
Yeah. 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 I
If you
still
go,
feel like a lot of those things come from a place that I'm not 100% comfortable with. But
I mean, maybe because, again, as in Christianity, there's often times when, certainly back in the past, not so much now. Now they're a little bit more open, but certainly when I was younger, that they would tell you that you had to wear a hat to church, for example, if you're a lady. You had to put something on your head.
I've always thought that was weird that we have these alternating ideas of when it's good to cover your head. You know? Like, and the yarmulke is part of this too, right? The yarmulke is, well, we cover our head before God, okay, but then we take off our hat indoors to show, like, what is the status of my head? Who's seeing my head?
I'm really glad you said that because I was super confused as well because I was always told to take my hat off when I went inside, apart from when I was in a church and then I had to sit there with my hat on and I'm like, well, is this respectful or not? I am confused now.
Yeah, I never understood. Like, if it was like, okay, we cover. I guess I don't know. Maybe it has to do with alteration from normal clothes.
What is it about ladies' hair as well, which will just make God so mad?
It just makes dudes freak out. Yeah, dudes just can't.
That's it. You can't stand my hair. That's the attractive part, is it?
I guess. I mean, it's a little bit. Yeah, Rudolor. I think it's a little bit like that, where it's like almost like boots.
Yeah.
Like I will modify my uniform, like the clothes that I'm wearing, which in history at least would symbolize my status, right? So like my hat might even symbolize that I'm cool and awesome, and so I take my hat off in front of someone more cool and awesome than me to show that I'm willing to like put my own symbols of status aside in front of someone else's more important symbols of status, which makes sense. But then there's this weird cover your head before God. So God's like, he made my head. I made the thing I'm putting on it. So like
he knows what your head looks like.
Yeah, he knows exactly. He knows what it looks like. So like, shouldn't I just be like, all right, here I am, God? And also like, I don't need my symbol of status. Again, if you keep the same metaphor, right? Like, me continuing to wear my symbol of status before God is more uppity than me saying, like, I don't need my symbol of status before you, God, because you're God. So, like, I don't know, man. It's just weird. I bet God has really incredibly strong opinions on this, and anyone who's ever messed it up has gone straight to hell.
I bet God's just mostly pissed constantly. He's like, really?
Oh, yeah.
Really? I created that whole system, and this is what you took from it? Your fucking hat?
Oh yeah. If I was God, I'd be angry all the time. Just there would be no stopping my eternal peevedness forever.
Like, really? Are you kidding me? I just told you to be nice to each other, and you can't even manage that.
Yeah, just like don't even have to be nice. Just like don't be literally the shittiest. Like seriously, like you don't even have to like hug each other. It's just maybe don't constantly murder each other on bigger and bigger scales. Like maybe just not that. And you could all be vaguely rude and cross with each other all the time and we'd still be good. Like you'd still be doing okay. Like I'd much rather live in a world where everyone just looked at other people and said, you're fucking ugly, than a world where the Holocaust happened. Like, let's just... Come on, guys. Like, come on.
It's true. Your people have had the worst of it, I have to say.
Oh, it's not about that. It's just about like if we lived in a world where we all, with our words, voiced all of our negative opinions about everyone we had negative opinions about all the time to their face, it would still be a better world than a world in which we had these like terrible atrocities that we totally do. Like,
Yeah.
how much more?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, the Gaudis.
I was,
I mean, to
I,
be fair,
yeah,
those
so
hats are an
yeah.
art form.
But they are to block the view because you're at the front of the church. So I don't know. It's in my again. I don't know how it works in the Americas, the New World, but certainly in the Old World, like you couldn't just sit. You couldn't just you couldn't just sit in any pew. Like they were demarcated, and you had a pew for your group of people or your family, right?
Well, I think we are
So
big on
then
egalitarianism,
yeah, exactly. So we had a little map at the front,
but
right? And they were like, this, X family sits here, X family, and of course the front was always reserved for the better parts of society, and the back was for the stinky peasants, right? So they're blocking your view because that's that's where you belong. And I guess the preacher does stand up on his pulpit as well, so you shouldn't.
It's supposed to be up there so everyone can see him pretty okay, right?
Yeah, that's the plan. And why is someone? I can't even bother trying to avoid such an early reach. Look.
No, you really.
Bugger. I was about to say I should have thrown the white dragon. That would have been safer, but so would not have been safer.
There's nothing you can do about that at all. There's nothing you can do about that at all. I mean, I think there's like an unofficial tier system in American churches. I don't know. I haven't spent much time in American churches, so I don't really know. But
I'd be afraid to go into an American church. I don't know, like.
Why? It's fine.
Because
you just do whatever you want.
Oh, but they've just got they just say what they think way too much.
Yeah, I know. It's
like they might say that like that they love me and that they hope that I'm well, and that's just too much as a Brit. I just cannot.
But is it okay for them to say they hope that you're well? That's not so
bad. No. We shuffle in, we say our prayers, and we shuffle out again. That's
the way we shuffle.
Yes, because we're in front of God, man. Shuffling isn't, and also it's like
That's
7 in the
more
morning.
stuff we got to do in front of God.
7 in the morning, and we're pissed off that we've got to go in. Yeah, stand up, sing, sit down, stand up, sing.
Oh, we got the 789 Sanchoku option going on here.
I do have a hilarious picture. So when I got married, right, basically half of the church had any idea what was going on. Most of them are Methodist, but we got married in a Church of England, and then the other half was because they were from Toshi's side had no fucking clue. Even though they were British, most of them, like they all came from London, so a little bit more enlightened. Enlightened, is that the right word? A little less religious. Let's go with that. And so, like, I just have all of these photos from that day of people looking really confused because they've never been through a full service where, you have to say the peace and, there's all of these, like, prayers, which are fairly standardized, right? You know them. And there's answers, right? Like the person at the front will say part of the prayer and then you answer in a certain way. And there's just a space of, like, what are they doing? Like, I'd invited them to, like, some crazy cult. I felt quite sorry for them.
Probably the 4-so, but I could be wrong.
Really? I'm holding on to the dream, man.
That's fair. And the 3-4 weight is a good weight, so... Yeah. It's not so bad. Oh, no.
I'm dreaming, man. I'm dreaming. Dreaming too hard,
Even with
maybe.
lefts being so flushy?
Yeah. It's 2 9s out. That's the more of the sadness.
And that's a 4-5-6, which means it could be an Itsu, although you threw the 4. Oh, nope, no flush. You're just gonna call it?
Yeah.
Calling into,
Yeah, man.
Ooh. Alright, that got you a Dora. It's 2 8s out also.
Full of shibboleths? I don't know what that is.
Wait, what are we talking about?
A
shibboleth is a thing people do to recognize each other. It's like a shibboleth is like...
I know what a trap is, and I feel like I've fallen into a trap with this word shibboleth.
No, it's like it's a little hard to explain. It's like a thing that you do just because you do it.
Oh, yeah, okay, like an indulgence, I guess.
Yeah, and it's usually like a word. Yeah, it like you do it to show your membership in a group, and like that's it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So
formative
like,
crap. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like it doesn't necessarily have any deeper meaning, but everyone in the group will do it, and thusly that's how a way that they like try to recognize each other.
Okay, a person principle belief. Oh, okay. I learned a new word. Thank you.
Yeah. Where are we going here? It looks like we have a Junchan opportunity.
You're gonna have to work on that one. That one needs some work.
That's a good word. But it's kind of fading as we get more better tiles elsewhere.
Yeah, sorry, man. I know
That's
you
fine.
love it. I know you love to see it. But yeah, I don't know. I spent quite a
I
lot of
do love
time
seeing
in the
Junchan.
church. It's funny, my parents are atheists, but because of the way when I was raised, the way that Britain was operating, I was forced to spend a lot of time in churches.
I mean,
If you ever
churches
come
aren't
to if you
always.
come ever come to my local church, you can still see some of the prayer cushions I was forced to embroider badly, I'd like to
Oh my
say.
god.
You can spot them from how badly stitched they are.
What if you're the greatest embroiderer? Well, maybe
I don't
you
know,
could
like
have.
and this is probably why I have such a kind of antagonism towards the Church of England in particular. Not so much the other versions of Christianity you find here, but what kind of church forces people to participate before they're old enough to know what they're doing?
The kind of church that wants to keep their members.
But you see, I think it's done the opposite. I think the
It does.
Church
I
of
mean,
England has suffered for it.
it's one of the things where it was mentioned earlier about people not sticking with their religion. I will say, like
Mm,
Catholicism, I found at least
mm,
anecdotally,
mm,
Catholicism specifically has a huge rate of people who kind of get forced to participate while young, and then grow up and say, "I want nothing to do with this. Like, I do not want to be part of this at all." Again, anecdotally, at least within
yeah.
people that I've known, I
And
say
if you
it's
are if you
Catholics
are
that have the
religious,
strongest feeling.
if you are religious here, like I am not giving shade on you at all.
I mean, either to be
If you're
honest,
a faith, yeah.
I think, I think, frankly, churches get a bit of a bad rap because,
Mm,
like many institutions, there are some people involved, and there are some instances of these institutions that are not so good.
mm,
But like overall, the vast number of people who attend church, and I think the vast number of people who run churches as a whole, in a very broad sense, have the feeling or the imagination that they are doing or are trying to do something good for people.
agree.
Um, and so I think you might not believe, and that's fine. I don't necessarily believe myself, and that's
Mm,
fine to not participate because you don't. But I don't think it's a fundamentally bad institution.
mm.
Um, oh man, another sumo. Tanya.
Some of the old local religious folks
Oof.
liked a big change in my Methodist church. Yeah, more rocky band. Yeah, and that's always the interesting thing is the clash of the traditional and people trying
Yeah.
to move their churches forward. And Church of England obviously has massively struggled with people just not really being able to
Hype.
choke down that gay people are going to hell because let's face it, they're not. And if that's the God we have to face at the end, screw it, I'll go to hell. That sounds way more fun.
Yeah. I mean, I think yeah. But a lot of people again, you grow up with something, and to you, it's a symbol of yourself or your culture or your life, and then people change it, and things change over time. But it feels weird, and so they don't like it. And yeah, as you say, peasant like maybe they leave because they're like, we don't like this because it doesn't represent what we think of as what this is. But then overall, the point of changing it was to make it more opening, more welcoming, and open to other
Mm.
people.
I will
Yeah,
say, and
maintaining the
I'm not sure
connection.
if that's entirely true in America, but I will say sometimes I find because this is a heavily religious area here. It's
Oh,
rural
really?
England. Most people will have faith or be attending a church regularly, um,
Hmm.
and I do think that they make this mistake that to be a good person you have to be a Christian, um, and
Oof.
they seem to forget that you can be a good person without having to believe in Jesus. And I think that especially, as someone who knows the Bible and learned about it, like the Bible explicitly says that you don't have to be a Christian to be doing the right thing.
Hmm.
Like that's the point of the Good Samaritan, right?
What you want is a 4-man.
Yeah, that's what I want.
I'll get you into Sanshuk. Or I
Yeah.
guess a 5-pin would be pretty sick also.
And a three so here would be fine. And something flashy's happening here on the left. No pasties
Yeah.
before noon on Sunday.
No pasties before. It's true. Eating fish on Fridays, that was a super economic thing.
But yeah, right?
Yeah. I mean, the history of the church, I think, is very important just because it's so entwined with the history
Oh
of
yeah, yeah,
Western
yeah.
society. Just understanding what happened and when and why is pretty cool.
And it's still motivating us. It's
Oh,
still in
no.
ways that we don't understand, like the way that our culture is operating, some of the fundamental principles of it are, I'm giving up on the Sandshoku.
Oh, no.
This guy tricks me. It's tricksy, this one. He's got
Well,
some
you were
nice
doomed, by the way,
blushing.
actually. It was a 3-6.
Yeah.
Woof.
I
Woof.
I do get the last dealership though, so there is time.
This is a continuation of your curse of last week, where you keep getting these good hands and then playing them well, and then it doesn't quite happen.
Mahjong walls, yeah. Mahjong. Oh yeah, I guess that's a yeah. It's a ritual, right? I'll up the Mahjong walls and I'll say that the traditional way that WRC makes you choose your wind, your starting wind, is probably even more of a shibboleth, right? Because there's no good reason why you have to roll the dice multiple times. You're fiddling with tiles. You could just draw it at random, right?
Hmm.
If you get me into an argument about it, though, and trying to get me to change my mind for WRC, I will suddenly become very.
It's not sudden.
I will
It's not
deny it.
sudden.
I'll be like, it's not a ritual. It's essential. So yeah, so it's quite complicated actually. So one person sits with the four direction tiles plus a 1 and a 2 pin usually, right? And then they'll mix them up and then they'll line them up in a line of 6, right? And then the person opposite them will roll the dice. That will decide the temporary east, and then you flip them over. And then depending on whether the roll is odd or even, you will go from either side, and then you will hand them out depending on whether you're starting from the odd or even side. It's really complicated, like really complicated. But I kind of like it. I mean,
There's a weird comforting nature to doing a ritual that you know well.
yeah, a lot, even Garth, who's really usually very anti-ritual anything, he says he likes it, and it does prevent people from making it a little bit easier to cheat. People say you can just draw them, and I'm like, whoever shuffled them can make you pick what they want you to pick. Yeah, so if you want to choose a tile or roll dice to randomly assign a win, that's fine, especially in casual games. But I think if you are in a big major event, then the Japanese way to do the determining is better.
No one's swapping jackets with me. Ugh.
Well, Dave's promised us to play the next WRC and Yukata, right?
Wait, what? I don't think I did.
I think you should.
All right, you need a dealer manga on direct
Yeah.
hit on West.
Well, I
to
mean,
win
if
this
I
game.
get it, then I can play again, right? So
Yeah.
this is a quick match, yeah. Okay.
Is this the Chanta we've been waiting for?
You're obsessed, man. But yeah, you should get a Yukata, Dave.
What?
Oh, why were you in the store shopping for Yukata?
I wasn't in the store. I was on the internet.
Oh, the internet store.
Yeah,
Okay.
I used Google to be like, hey.
I imagined you were actively in a store. Okay.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, for sure, no.
Yeah, this guy is going super fast. I'm not sure I can outrun
he
him.
wants to close. Why does he want to close it out so quick, though? Without more points, he's going to be closing it out in third, so that might not be...
Maybe he just wants to. Maybe he's only playing to kind of. Oh my God! I threw the 1-2 because I saw the pawn of threes and I thought, oh well, that's really ending this 1-2.
This is Sancho Commercial.
I wouldn't say I'm obsessed.
Well, now you've got a nice 1-2-3 in your discard, which will throw them off the scent.
But yeah, anyway, I do like that more. I like adding the complication there anyway because I think that it makes it harder to
Right.
cheat. Sleight of hand becomes harder. There's more people involved in it. Oh God.
Well, that's good, actually.
Love.
Don't know if I would have gone there, actually. But it would have had to come out sooner or later.
Yeah, I feel like.
Yeah, there was no getting rid of that. Because I was considering throwing the 1-man and holding out for the 4 to get 3-4-5. But that still would have involved throwing that later. It would have just been later.
Oh, I tried to reply to Sarah, but I'd already gone.
Oh.
If people are being rude on the mahjong table, imagine they're probably just playing on their PlayStations.
I don't think it's rude to... I don't know, maybe this is my own rules. I don't think it's rude to not say anything. It's
If
rude
I
to,
was-
like...
If I was on duty and everyone said hello and asked me a question, I would have thought it was rude, personally.
Wait, what?
Like if you're running a dungeon and there's four of you and someone says, "Hey, like where did you get that cool jacket? Because look, he's got a great jacket on,"
Yeah.
right? I think you should reply.
Oh wait, did someone ask a question and you didn't reply?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
yeah, that was rude.
Oh. Whoops. Oh no. Oh, it was inadvertently rude.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. If people are being rude to you on the mahjong table, it's because for some reason, that's not for some reason. It's just bad,
It's
window
always bad.
sizing and stuff. Yeah, you're playing it
Ain't
right.
no thing.
Yeah, so well. Okay, we've touched on religion. I think we've managed to touch the hottest topic. I mean,
I'm
cultural
looking.
appropriation. That's always a good one. That's always a good one.
What's this?
No, this is not
Sashinuki
late.
Haku?
This is I'm on Gilgamesh at the moment, which is ether.
I'm looking at Hakama now.
Yeah, Troll's got it right. Troll knows the ways. Troll knows the ways. Yeah.
All these clothes are super weird.
Aoife sounds more right. Yeah, I really like those big baggy pants the construction workers wear in Japan though. Those look, although they look very dangerous because they look like they get caught in heavy machinery and you lose a leg, they do look comfortable. Yeah, because there's two NA data centers, right? Yeah. The smell of different hands. Wow. The thing with Chanta
Ew.
is now it smells like Dave.
What? Ew.
Sanshoku might smell a bit like my musty yukata. This really needs a wash. This is disgusting. This is, yeah. But it's cute. It's got like little goldfish on it. Wait, where's the little goldfish part?
Oh, you did make it to. What's it called?
Yeah, I did. I did manage to make it into Shadowbringers finally.
All right, you've made it to the new world of stuff.
Goldfish.
Ooh, mine's not goldfish. I have it somewhere over there.
I do feel like pink is probably not a good color for me anymore.
Why?
I just feel like, I've matured a bit. When I was 20, wearing the pinky cute, yukata seemed like a good idea. I think I'm ready to progress on to more mature colors, for the mature
What?
women.
What's that? What does that mean?
Well, actually, they're really specific about the colors in for yukata and kimono as well in Japan.
Hmm.
So, there's stuff that you should wear for certain occasions. Obviously, the different things require different colors. But also, they tend to prefer other tones, more muted tones as you get older. But do you know what I also find interesting is that they don't choose color combinations I think Westerners like. Like they often choose things that look clashing to our eyes.
Hmm.
Like I often think like when I've seen like proper yukata, not the yukata, so kimono one, when they do the kimono like dress up kimonos for the Westerners, like the tourists, they always kind of they've made it more palatable maybe to our eyes who pick those kimono to wear. But yeah, I find them they can be quite clashing, right?
Interesting.
Yeah, the colors are quite. Let's see if I can find something.
I'm looking at what's going on in the world.
Don't do that.
Yeah, it's all bad.
Let's see if I can find. Can't find anything now that I would have thought was. See, I'm obviously not dissing their culture, but this kind of color noise, I don't think we'd naturally choose.
I think
That
it's
makes
actually
sense.
kind of interesting.
It's very interesting, but it's certainly very different to what our culture would choose. I mean, there's a lot of patterns on there, there's a lot of colors, and I think that we'd probably think, and this is probably as a silly little 20-year-old, I was like, oh, I'll just get pink with a little koi carp, Um, yeah, so this is quite traditional as well. I'm not sure that we would pick that, we'd maybe because we fetishized what they wear a little bit, and often, these designs they mean something, like stork means something, the belt, the way in the and what's they've tied around it, and the collars. It's all relevant, right?
Mm.
And means something, you know. And then because it means something, certain colors and certain design elements are more appropriate depending on your stage of life. I'm gonna say again that I am not Japanese, so you really need to find a Japanese person to tell you properly. Um, yeah, so stuff like this I always find like with the stripes, but with like kind of flowers stuck over it. I don't think we'd do that either. I'm not sure
I
if that's.
also think that's super interesting.
It's super interesting. I just don't think
I'd
that
super
would.
wear this.
I am. I just don't think that would come out of our cultures, right?
The hottest streetwear.
NBA size clothing. We fetishize what they wear, yeah. And that was I don't know there was a big and do you know what was it this week it must have been do you know what this has been a really nasty long week for me so but I think it was this week. So one of the big restaurants called the Ivy in London put out this advert that was really, you know, talk about cultural appropriation. This was just racist. And so they've got stuff like they've got one of their rooms is called the geisha room and stuff like that. And I've always found like the fetishization of geisha really weird. Like this idea that I'm not gonna, you know, of course, sex workers are sex workers. That's, you know, I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but you know, like geisha were being selected from, you know, the age of 9 or something to be geisha. There was nothing particularly romantic about it, but we've managed to make it into this kind of romantic ideal. It's not all bad, but you know, as with everything in every culture, there's massive amounts of nuance to everything, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking like nine's a little
Yeah, it's not like these poor people were choosing it, right? And they were being sold, right? They were the people who recruited the geisha were trolling around the poorer areas, finding families that were too poor to look after their female children, and so would sell them instead. And they do fetishize what we were, but we fetishize strange things. I'm trying to think what the Japanese fetishize, which is kind of weird of our culture. Santa Claus. That Santa
we
Claus stuff is
fetishize
weird.
Santa Claus.
Well, no, they fetishize. Well, they used to. I don't think they do it so much anymore. And this is one of those infamous stories that I'm pretty sure all the gaijin tell each other. But there was a big Christmas like tableau that they set up in Shinjuku or Shibuya, and they'd obviously gotten the stories mixed up because they put up a cross with Santa Claus on it, not Jesus Christ. So they basically just crucified Santa, and I was like, oh my god, what have you done? Yeah. That was pretty funny though.
Yeah,
I don't know why they thought we did the crucifixion at Christmas time either. It's hilarious, right?
Well, it's like a Jesus time. That makes a little bit of sense.
Yeah, they were like, "Where's Jesus?" And there's actually a big village in Japan that believes that after Jesus did his thing in the Middle East, he then got to Japan somehow to continue his lineage there. And there are people who say that they're descended from Jesus Christ, which I always thought was interesting.
It's interesting. It's just a little
Yeah, I don't know where the Lolita stuff comes from. What about the Taiko Mochi room? Taiko Mochi? Like drum mochi? I don't know what that one is.
Taiko Mochi.
I'd like to win something today.
I believe in you. All right. This looks good, except you're not... Well, it's East Round. All right. This has some potential. Just pong it all. Just pong it out. Just pong it out.
The amount of Eastern items in random rooms just spells worrying history, yeah.
Yeah, let's just pong this out. Just toy. Dora 50.
Yeah, the British people did take a lot of stuff. Whilst we were giving opium, we managed to get a lot of stuff. Giving opium, selling opium, exploiting people with opium.
Ooh. How are we going to pong it out now?
We don't need to pong it out, we're going to flush it out.
Oh.
That's a door there.
Can we also pong it out?
Well, we can't now.
Great. Great.
Jesus, there you
Just-
go. Jesus had Aomori Prefecture. There you go. That's what he did. Yeah. He was the first gaijin that decided, fuck this shit. I'm going to Japan.
Yeah, he was like, forget this.
Everything's better in Japan. They look
Yeah, everything's
after.
better in Japan.
They clean up after themselves.
They're just a superior culture.
How's America doing at the moment? You've not managed to implode. I thought Donald Trump was being reinstated yesterday, so I was quite disappointed to hear
Yeah,
that
I don't know,
happen.
man. I guess he must have overslept.
God, he's just lazy, man. Maybe he has been reinstated and everything is just fake.
Yeah, well, now
Damn
Joe
you,
Biden's
mainstream
just
media.
continuing to play act as president while Trump secretly
See, I
runs the
thought that
country.
I thought that Biden was a clone, actually. So
I thought it was lizard. I shouldn't joke about lizard people anymore. That dude killed his kids.
what? Who did?
Yeah, some dude here in wonderful America killed his children because he was convinced they had lizard DNA and he was saving the world.
Now, I would like to apologize to America for the lizard conspiracy theory because that was one of our people that made that up to start with. I'm so sorry.
It's pretty bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sorry for the lizard people. Because I think David Icke, he went to America now, right? He lives there because he's just such a nutcase that no one can cope with him.
Yeah, the crime was committed in Mexico, that's true. But
Oh, okay.
it's just heinous.
Yeah.
Ooh, a West. Oh.
David's clearly fake. He's in on it.
Yeah, it's
Dave,
true.
you're a clone. You have to tell me, right? It's like a
I don't have to. That's not how that works. I don't have to tell you nothing.
it's like a narcotics officer, right? If I ask you,
Yeah,
you have
are
to
you a
tell
cop?
me. Are you a cop? Are you a lizard? Are you a clone?
I feel like that might have been valid at some point somewhere. Like it's like because there's entrapment laws, right? So to some degree, the police can't lie about being policed somehow. I don't know.
I feel like that would be like, why don't you just every time just change your greeting to "Are you a cop?"
I don't like that 6-pin con.
Ollie Busty says, grocery shopping is indeed hot as a snake's ass in a ragging wet.
Is that how hot it is? That what it is? Is that a thing that it can be? Snakes don't even have an ass.
Yeah, that's what I was going. I was like, where does the ass come from?
Oh my
Like,
god.
how do they poop? They must poop. Like they induce illegal action. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like there's only so much they can do. They can't make you do something. But I don't. Yeah, as said, exactly as said. Like the standard for what it means to make you do something changes depending on like where you are and when you are.
Oh.
How are we gonna win this?
Draw better tiles.
Apparently, we need a chun. Get a chun. That would be good.
Are we on a quick again? I did not look. Yeah, okay. Kavi's helping.
All right, there we go. But that chun's dangerous to throw. But maybe it's fine.
Yeah. It's
All
not
right.
bad weight either.
No, 7-8. That's pretty sick. Considering
Yeah.
the 6 is dead now, and you have all the 9s, those 7s and 8s are going to be orphans.
Yeah, right?
Unless someone has 3 of them or something. You got a good shot.
Thanks,
getting that out of
Pez.
there.
Thanks, Pez.
God damn, it's a cloaca. Oh, okay. The snake has. Ooh, are we gonna con it or do we keep the good weight?
Oh, yeah, keep the good weight, right? And it's safe to throw as well.
Oh, I wish we conned it, but
I'm
I think you're right in what you did. The east, I would con.
Yeah, the East for sure. I'm going to can it now, even though I didn't.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
It didn't help me.
No, it didn't help at all. But hopefully you win on that 8. Yep, there we go. So keeping the weight was the right answer. You
Yeah.
won on the 8.
Yeah.
Well, that should hit Mongon for sure. Yeah. The East Con gets you up to Mongon. Ooh, hello.
Oh, the 9 so is the door, though.
I know, but you still got so many great pungs to make. Oh my god.
8 waits, great mate.
This could really get flushy now.
I
This is another
yeah.
flush. I think it's another flush that's
Do you
got to
reckon?
happen.
I just don't know
A
about
con
that.
already, though.
Yeah, which makes the 8 so another Dora.
Well, the 4-6 can leave, and we can think about. Oh, this is real dumb.
Shaku hypertension day for Bex. I know, poor little Bex. I made him go to the new expansion or the old expansion now, really, technically, I suppose. I don't think he
That's
likes
kind
it
of
in the
old.
new area.
Why
'Cause
not?
there's a lot of places to run about.
It's great. Is he allergic to
Yeah.
fun?
Yeah, look at his face, man. That man does not have fun. What does that 73 minutes to a new hand mean? Actually, what that means is 73 minutes on the game itself.
Yeah, yeah. It's like what will force the game to complete if no one finishes.
Yeah, it's really badly described.
I should probably just call that and then throw the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's time, and you'll be in the same great 2 or 3 wait again
Yeah. I know, right? This is
if you
this is
get
my
if
nugget
this
area today.
happens. Yeah, apparently this is how you win.
I would like to win.
Oh,
One
there you go.
for White Dragon. Nice. Nice.
If the
No
4
Doris.
comes out, you should con it instead of roning because then you'll draw another winning tile, surely.
I
That's
want
what
to
I
play
think.
too. Yeah, I don't think I should do that at all. Nah, I'm gonna keep my weight. I'm gonna keep my weight.
Yeah, you already have the red 5, so it doesn't matter.
And the 1 man is a really good weight. Like
Yeah.
switching for a 3/6, I've already got 1/3 and 1/6. It's not really helping. Plus, I could get the White Dragon, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Let's go for after a campus. You reckon the 1 man is the one I draw?
Oh, there you go. There you go. Another manga, I believe.
I used to hit that time limit a long time ago, but I haven't done
Almost 30
recently.
before.
People have gotten faster. I quite like the name Maynard Woggles. I don't really know why.
All right, let's keep that flush magic going.
I know, right?
Every hand is just saying to you, call this out for a quick flush.
I mean, this is a less quick flush here, though.
For a quick flush, call 1-800-GEMMA.
Oh, but you have something to talk about, Mahjong related. You can talk about the
What?
IORMC qualifiers for America.
What? The
Remember?
IORMC qualifiers for North America?
Yes. And is it
That's
North
a great
America or is
thing
it the
to talk about.
States? I'm pretty
It's the
sure
United
Canada.
States, actually. It's the United
Yeah,
States.
yeah, exactly.
It's the United States.
Good.
Oh my god, this is so flushy though. I want to see. I want to see if this happens. We'll talk about it right after.
Okay, after this hand, I want you to talk
Yeah,
about
after
the
this
IORMC
hand, we can
qualifiers.
discuss the IORMC qualifiers for the United States.
Because actually, I checked the tournament format for that just before I came on stream, and I was like, wow, they are hardcore this time. They are not messing about. You want the best players, apparently.
That's the objective.
Olive Busty wants to know as well, so you better have some links ready.
I have links. Don't worry. Don't worry. Don't worry.
And if you
Don't
haven't
worry,
registered
friends.
for the whilst he's not telling you stuff, I'm going to tell you about the Doman Mahjong tournament in September. You should definitely play that as well. There's the link. I'm playing it. It's amazing. It's always great fun. I've never had a time when it wasn't great fun. Yeah, that 2-pin call is a bit of a pain for
It's a
me.
little rough. Yeah. Shady. No,
I did
I know
watch
that
him.
link is legit.
Yeah. I did watch a movie this morning though, and I hadn't watched it before, and maybe you're not like the movie I watched, but I watched that World Trade Center movie with Nicolas Cage in it. And
I don't even know
I
what that
really
is.
like it's about when the Trade Center towers collapsed, and about a particular group of police people who got trapped when one of them collapsed, and then
Oh,
they get saved.
interesting.
I presume it's a true story, but I hadn't watched it until, 'cause I don't really like that kind of thing. Like thinking about what happened at the Trade Center kind of,
Well,
I don't know, it gives me horrible feelings.
we got two different things, although we do have. Oh my god, this is looking great. Oh my god, the door is out. Oh no, the door got punked. Oh no.
Um, yeah,
There
so,
we
but
go.
anyway, it's funny because I was just thinking, like, really, Nicolas Cage can't do anything without me thinking, oh, look, Nicolas Cage has turned out. Like, I cannot suspend disbelief that he is anyone but Nicolas Cage.
That does make some sense though. Like
Mm.
some of the better actors get that. Not even better, more popular actors. Nothing against Nicolas Cage, but like more
Yeah.
popular actors are always kind of being them.
Yeah, and it's like when Matt Damon turned up in that stupid, what was it? It wasn't Inception, it was the other one, the going to space movie that he did. What was it Christopher Nolan
Oh, The
did?
Martian.
No, that was the one I understood, and he was fine in that one, but it was the Interstellar. And
Was
he
he in
turned up on
Interstellar? Oh,
he
he
was.
does.
And
He
literally,
turns up on that random
he turns,
planet, and they're like,
he turns up halfway through the movie, and I'm like, why didn't you tell us you put Matt Damon on the planet?
well, that was weird. That was also weird because it was one of those things where it's like throughout the movie we keep hearing about this character who's like important to one of our heroes, and like, oh, I gotta go to this guy, we gotta save this character, we gotta go meet this character, we gotta do the thing, and then they get to the planet, and it's like, oh, you mean Matt Damon? Like
Yeah.
that's what I, they're
That was
talking a lot. They're
exactly
trying
my
to build up
reaction.
my anticipation and my connection to this character, and it's just like, oh, you mean Matt Damon?
No, I said
So it's just Matt
not
Damon who's
Inception.
there,
I said not Inception, Pesnator.
not Inception. It was not
Not
Inception.
Inception, but Interstellar. Both very
Yeah,
silly movies. Inception was better than Interstellar. Interstellar was possibly one of the most stupid movies I've ever seen.
I liked so much about Interstellar, but then it really had some problems as well.
I wanted to know how they knew when the Morse code started. You know, like he was
What do you
giving
mean?
Morse. So at the end, right, he's stuck in like whatever, like that plane of love behind the bookshelf.
Yeah, I don't even. Yeah, whatever.
Sure. And that's the thing. I was enjoying the movie until the point was that love in this ridiculous idea that it affects space and time is what's going to save us all. And then they're like, luckily, I taught my daughter Morse code, and she's going to recognize that this is Morse code, and she's going to know when my Morse code starts. And
I don't know,
I
man.
hadn't, to be fair, I'd already gotten mad that to get into NASA and to be able to go into space, all you had to do was to drive your car through a field and accidentally hit NASA's headquarters.
Yeah, you're just like, boom, oh, you bumped into NASA, and they're like, hello. You sure seem like exactly what's supposed to happen right now.
That's good. We need an astronaut.
Well,
Like,
maybe
really?
maybe she knew preemptively that it was going to happen because she got anything involving time travel is done. But
I know, right? Yeah, it's true. And so Rutler, that link is for the Doman Mahjong tournament. That
that's
is
a Don't
awesome.
Monitor
Everyone
tournament.
should
Let
play.
me first fulfill my important obligation. So if you go to narichi.org, and I'll link the more specific link to what we're talking about here, you can get information about.
But can you still apply? This is what I was confused at because I think you have to attend 3 out of 4 events that are all happening
No,
this
this says
month,
only
right?
the first three sessions will count
But doesn't it
towards
say
qualifying. So one of them actually has happened already.
yeah, one
Um,
of them's happened. You can't register for the one that's happening this weekend, obviously, because
the
that's
first spot will be awarded to the individual with the highest single scoring session.
right. Oh, so 3 is your maximum. 3 is your cap. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, yeah. You can only get 3 out of 4, although it's a little late, but here's the information. You can get to at least 2 sessions. You can get your qualifying average. You can get your highest session. You still have time to do the other two sessions. Because this is unfortunately the second Saturday in August, so a little slow. But yeah, you can register. You can do all these things. It's all available to you. And so the International Online Riichi Mahjong competition started between South Korea and Japan in 2011, but it's grown and grown and grown. And so now a whole bunch of countries enter teams. And so this is the qualifier for the United States team, which means you have to be a United States resident.
I think it's national. It does say there somewhere in the paperwork that you have to be a national.
Yeah, you have to be. Well,
Because I think we were accepting.
in the U.S., that's a very fraught thing,
I know that this is what
which is why I'm going to
someone
say
did link,
a resident
someone did
of the
link like
United
what's the
States.
difference between citizen and national? Because here for the UK, it's a bit complicated because we're a little bit more lax on who we allow to join Team UK, but we've had to up that restriction because of the way the IORMC put their qualification, which means you have to have indefinite leave to remain, so permanent residency basically, which I guess would be a
but
green
that's
card for
in
you
the
people.
U.S. is also well. I'm
Yeah.
going to say, and if they have a problem with it, they can talk to me about it. You should be a resident of the United States. If
think they
someone
made
with
it.
questionable residency status has a
Yeah.
problem, please do email me and let me know, and
Well,
I will go to bat for you depending on your status.
yeah. Before you do that, your wonderful Edwin has actually put the regulations up, and I think they're using the Olympic standards. The Americans are for
That's
whether
maybe
you can.
fine, but I'm willing to go to bat if they're being fussy
Okay,
about
well,
it.
yeah, well, but just go to
There have been so many over the past 4 years. There have been so many problems for people with indeterminate immigration status. I'll go to bat if someone's got an immigration status problem.
Oh, okay, all right.
Um, that's what I'm trying to say. Like we have a lot of people with who's had their immigration status and their ability to stay in this country pushed them and then yanked away and then pushes them and then yanked away and they don't know what the heck's going on.
Mm-mm.
So if anyone's in that kind of situation,
Dave is going to
we
fight
got
the
you.
entire IORMC committee
I
for you.
fucking will. They're not that tough.
Yeah, I mean, and maybe because in the UK we don't really have that many people walking around with indeterminate status,
You do not have. I
Yeah.
sure hope you don't have the level of problem that we have here. With
No,
it, but it's
I mean,
really rough. It's really
there's
rough here.
there's always people with problems, but
Sure.
um, yeah, most of the problems are done though because for some reason the Home Office burned their paperwork and
Oh, we had that happen. I was in
Yeah,
San
yeah.
Francisco, big fire, and then everyone who came in from China was like, "Oh yeah, my papers were lost in the fire," and we were
But
just kind of
but
like,
that was an
"Okay."
accident, right? Not like our
We think.
Home Office burned it on purpose. They were
Oh
like,
dear.
don't need this, and was like, but that's my evidence that I live here, dumbasses.
The whole love thing in Interstellar was just
I mean, you got to remember that me and Dave are cold people. Like
no. My problem was like. First, they had that whole scene on the ship where they had the lady scientist like just be like, "But what if love is what matters?" And like everyone just looks at her like you are the dumbest fucking idiot.
you
Like,
wouldn't you? You're on a ship built by science.
well, I'm just like it's like isn't it like right after this dude just like loses 30 years of his life to missing the timing on the going back down and up to the planet, and he's never gonna go home ever again, and he's like this other dude like aged like for 30 years sitting and waiting for them, and she's like, "Oh, maybe love matters." They're like, "You fucking idiot." I did not give up my life and dignity to go halfway across the universe to have you say the dumbest thing like you the peak of Mount Stupid is you with your
He
flag
does-
sitting there.
Dave does self bleep. It's true.
Like, come on, lady. Come on. We need
Yeah,
that
do
last
you know what?
house.
And that's the thing. If they could, they could have actually made it a little bit more. If they made it more nuanced, and that the relationships and these strong bonds that people formed was humanity's, saving grace, and that's how he managed to push through, and not die.
I mean, a lot of
that
the,
I
I,
could
I
have
thought a
done.
lot of things in the movie were nuanced and interesting. I
Yes.
thought there was a lot of things of like again there is that whole situation I was describing like huge galaxy-sized forces like do not give a shit about people. People are just tiny little ants to them, and like, yeah, you know what? Guess what? You miscalculated, and you just lost 30 years of your life, and the universe does not care. There's no like magical thing that happens to fix it for you. It just sucks, and that's how it goes. And like, I think there's a lot of things about that. But then the love stuff was, I was angry that they like, I was a little weirdly like sexism angry that they made like the female scientist the one who comes up with like the love idea as if she's going to be the feelingsy person. I'm just like, why? Just make one of the dudes say it. If you're going to sacrifice a character on the altar of being
They
the
should have
dumbest.
got who was that guy from Jurassic Park who was like horny all the time? They should have got him to say it. That would have been amazing. What
Wait,
was his
what?
name? Do you know the guy in Jurassic Park? The one who's like always flirting? What was his name? Everyone knows who you're talking about. God, you know him.
God. Jeff Goldblum?
Yes, that's it. Thank you.
Jeff
See,
Goldblum?
everyone knows who I'm talking about. They'd have got
The
him to
line-
talk
he
about
could've-
love. He would have pulled it off.
Jeff Goldblum could have delivered that line without
Yes.
making me want to like
Yes,
suplex him.
exactly.
But that would have been a tough sell to get Jeff Goldblum. Like, getting Jeff Goldblum in that movie would have just made it one of those movies where you're like, oh, it's Jeff Goldblum.
It's like, oh look, it's Nicolas Cage. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I guess Nicolas Cage is out in the wilds of space. Neat. I mean, I don't think love love doesn't have to be a cop out. And I think there's like, honestly, like, if Dave was going to doctor that script, which I'll do now, you can get this one for free. I would have made it so that
Folding.
the person who just lost a huge chunk of their life is the one who then is like,
Yes.
you know, this bond
Yes.
of love is the only thing I have left now. I just lost
Yes,
30
'cause
years
they
of my
have-
life.
They got special
Love is the
insight.
only thing that's
Yes.
allowed me to sit up here waiting for you. And
And
so
then-
I just
And the other
this is
characters,
what I
they
have
could-
left.
They could have had it land as well by going like, well, he has just lost 30 years of his life to nothing, you know? That,
Yeah,
they
like-
could have landed it then.
Yeah, they could have been like, well, we don't have any better ideas. We don't have any good criteria to pick. And this dude did just lose. Yeah, this person just lost 30 years of their life, and love is the only thing that sustained them. So you know what? Let's, if the universe won't be human to us, let's be human to each other.
Yeah.
Let's do what they suggest. Look at that. Look at that. Look at me just fixing the script and making it more poignant and meaningful. Look at that.
We can work on commission.
Yeah. Seriously. Hollywood, if you're watching, I will do this work for you and make your movies less stupid.
Just,
Yeah, I can
actually
do that.
just add Mahjong references in every now and then.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You get it for free.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I won't. Just make every movie have a mahjong scene in it.
Yeah.
And you got me on board. This could be a sick pinfu.
It could be.
And
I
it's
don't think
really
it's-
close to a sanchoku.
Yeah, it's
But
not
there's a reach across
quite
the
close
table.
enough. Yeah, I know. Well, I've been playing again. Look, I threw away my seat wind, just
Yeah,
to avoid that
yeah.
one because I am talent. I think it's tend to be a cop out, but the fact so many people think the love is good means it was not written well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Everyone knows love is bad.
Oh, Dave. I am copping out now. I don't
Look
think
on my
Mahjong-
face says.
I haven't seen Tenet yet, but
I actually kind of liked Tenet, but Tenet was kind of a hot mess.
right.
Oh no!
Thank you.
Did you get overtaken?
Just change it back.
No.
Yeah.
Wait, but there's the extra 1,000.
Just. Sorry, Corral. Sorry.
There wasn't a 1,000.
That was a nice attempt though to come and steal from me.
That was real close. Real close.
Yeah.
We got time for one more.
I can be not the worst now. Look at me. I said good game.
Tenet was interesting, but Tenet, like, the problem with Tenet is that Tenet had a lot of things in it. So, like, the fundamental premise of the movie, of any movie, really, is, like, one of the fundamental premises, I should say, is, like, show, don't tell. But the problem is Tenet, first of all, spent a lot of time telling, like Michael Caine, which was also, like, a surreal, it's really funny. I don't know how much you care about spoilers.
No, don't worry
Tenet.
about me.
I'll keep it very mild. But there's, like, everyone was really mad about Michael Caine being in Tenet. And the reason is because Michael Caine is in Tenet for, like, one 80-second long scene. Where, like, our main character walks in and sits down at the table, and he's like, I have to meet with my contact. And, like, the camera's like, oh, it's Michael Caine. Your contact is Michael Caine, and here's Michael Caine. And Michael Caine's like, I'm Michael Caine. And
Did they not
just,
afford
like,
Michael Caine or something? What was going on? Like, why would
no,
they put him in
this
second?
director just puts him in all his movies because he just likes him.
like
So they
Michael
got him for a
Caine.
little bit. And so, like, and the part is entirely Michael Caine saying exposition to the main character. He's just like, I'm Michael Caine. You thought you were going to do this thing, but you're not. It's wrong. Actually, you're going to do the other thing. You're going to go to the place. You're going to meet the guy. You're going to do this. I'm eating my steak. By the way, your suit sucks. Bye. Like, that's, and then the scene's over.
I need Michael Caine to drop into my kitchen and tell me what to do in my life. Michael Caine, I need some exposition, please, dear God.
Yeah, like, and that's what he does in the film. And now, on the one hand, that sucks. Like, it just sucks. On the other hand, I will say, for a scene in which the main character simply receives exposition, it was like 80 seconds. It was entirely to the point. It told you what was going to happen next in the most, like, succinct way possible. It wasn't really as bad as it could. It wasn't like they spent, like, 10 minutes of, like, we're going to have a long, in-depth conversation, and the only reason this matters is because I'm telling you to go to the city and get the MacGuffin. Like, it was very, very direct. And so I'm like, okay, you want to dump some info into my brain? You did it in a very quick way that didn't, like, take me out of the pace of the movie. Okay, we're going to keep moving. Cool. Fine. But it also kind of sucks. It's just Michael Caine being like, hello, I'm here in a restaurant. And, like, that's it. And at the end of the scene, you're just like, but who even are you? Like, why are you here? We don't...
It's Michael
Sure.
Caine. It's like,
Yeah,
when
it's
Johnny,
Michael
it's,
Caine.
it's like when Johnny Depp was in all of those Tim Burton movies, and you were like, can you just stop hiring Johnny Depp for fuck's sake?
And I'm a little sad about it because Michael Caine gives our main character a snobby dressing down about how his Brooks Brothers suit isn't really good enough to be seen in British high society with, and everyone will know that he's wearing like not good enough suits. And now Brooks Brothers is out of business, so you can't even get a Brooks Brothers suit anymore. It's just over. But
I remember when
I
Michael
do
Caine
recommend
watched.
this movie. I do legit recommend this movie. It's worth watching. If you understand, it's an interesting movie that doesn't really. It's not amazing. It messes some stuff up, but it has interesting ideas in it. It's worth watching. But I agree. The final scene is like depicting this complicated time battle thing, and there's just no way to show it visually in a way that makes any sense, and it like completely fails to show the scene in a way that makes any sense. But what I did think was funny was like, so they have this incredibly expensive special effects sequence where they like drive a 777 into a building.
Right.
In the movie to like blow everything up. And so they do it, and I just feel like the plot of the movie was such that our director was told like, dude, you blew like 80% of the budget on this one scene. How are you going to make the rest of your movie? And he's like, hold my beer. We'll make the rest of the movie doing the scene going backwards in time through the exact same scene so we can get the most mileage out of it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we shoot the movie once, but then we keep going backwards and forwards in time through the same scene, so we don't have to keep shooting it. We can save all the dough.
I hate stories of time travel. Just generally, I hate them. Unless it's Back to the Future, that's amazing.
I advise you to watch Tenet for a few reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Cool idea,
Mm-hmm.
interesting execution.
Mm-hmm.
Again, just a lot of interesting ideas in there, even if it didn't like work. Seeing a lot of the things they were trying, I thought was really cool. I will also say I thought it was really exciting and cool and well done to have a like Bond style spy film with a non-white main character.
Okay.
I thought they did a really great job of that. It was just well done. It was interesting. It was just different.
That's
It was
true.
diverse.
I mean,
It was
yeah,
something-
like to be honest, James Bond just needs to die now, and I wish they would just kill that
watch some of
franchise.
the new ones. They were okay.
Do you know what, every time they talk about getting a new James Bond, like there's always this fucking freak out, and then people say stupid stuff like, "Oh, but James Bond's got to be English," and I'm like, apart from Sean Connery, apart from that James Bond who's not English at all, he did fucking shit.
He wasn't an important Bond.
He wasn't an important Bond at all. Like,
Just
no
a
one remembers
blip on the
Sean
James
Connery.
Bond.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one remembers that guy.
Who was the guy that they were saying could be changed? Idris Elba, right? And I'm like, my God, that is.
Yeah, everyone's mad about. Yeah, I remember there was a weird racist thing
and
about
I was
James
like,
Bond can't be not white, and I was like, actually, Idris Elba would make a great James Bond. Frankly, I think Idris Elba would make a kick-ass James Bond.
Oh my God, like he's the most James Bondy like actor I can think of right now.
He's got. I mean, again, just fucking look at him in The Wire. He has that exact combination of being like sophisticated and a little dangerous, and definitely able to pull off action scenes, and yet like
And he's attractive to the ladies, which you need
if
you're going to be a
The
Bond.
ladies do like him. The ladies do like him. But yeah, no, I think that I think frankly, you do much better.
And the men.
Bionel,
Yes, exactly.
Bionel, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely. You know what? I'm glad he didn't get all caught up in the James Bond hoopla, so he was free to be Knuckles the Echidna. I'm sure he will be great as Knuckles, but yes, I'm glad he didn't get all sucked into the hype. And he
has good charisma, that one, and that's
he's
difficult
got that
to
thing.
Because he was the last Bond. The last Bond did not have good charisma. I forgot what his name is. Handsome boy, the chest. He didn't have charisma though.
Handsome boy. What was his name?
I can't remember now. The thing is that
I was just thinking. Daniel Craig. Daniel Craig.
I know, but he's very generic, handsome boy. I don't know. Like he's not. Idris Elba's charisma.
After
really is.
watching at least one of his Bond movies, I liked what they were doing with him, in that they were overtly making him like a less refined Bond. He was a Bond who was much more of like a. I don't know how you'd say it. Like he didn't quite fit into the suits and the high culture. And that was like almost his vibe, was that he didn't quite fit into that as smoothly as the traditional James Bond. I think they try to shake it up a little bit, and maybe don't always succeed. Maybe don't always hit the mark. But I think they were trying to make him more of a rough and ready person.
Yeah,
who's
they
like,
were mad at him being blonde. That's true. Did they get mad at him not beating women, because that's what James Bond spends most of his time in the old movies and books doing. He just beats women constantly. Like,
can't do that. That's
there's
not good.
one, I can't remember which was he was the really unpopular Bond, and I can't remember his name, but he was only Bond for one movie, but that
Roger
movie
Moore, or was it someone else?
it might be Roger
No,
Moore.
Roger Moore I think did Bond for more movies than that.
And it's just such a terrible James Bond movie anyway. And he spends so much of the movie unnecessarily hitting women, but it's like this ridiculous sound effect. Like literally, it's like wakash, wakash. Like I know it's the 70s, guys, but really, like you couldn't make a slapping noise.
I'm going to laugh about this not because I find violence towards women funny, but because I find this ridiculousness funny.
It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. No, it wasn't Pierce Brosnan. No, that you see that.
No,
Pierce Brosnan. It was from the past. It was it would not fly nowadays. It would not.
Yeah, the Pierce Brosnan era was still modern enough that they wouldn't be like, then you just slap 50 ladies.
Yeah, it was really an unnecessary amount of violence.
Oh my god. All right, that's the kind of reach you want right there.
I have to go and look at because you know what? I used to have a boyfriend when I was a teenager, and he really liked James Bond. Oh. Really idolized James Bond, and I haven't watched it since because it's creepy.
But I feel like it would be interesting to start, and maybe people don't want to do this, but like almost like we did with Batman with the Dark Knight series, like kind of reimagining like what James Bond in the 60s and 70s was an icon of certain things from the 60s and 70s that we were, that we aspired to, or that we were afraid of.
He spent so much time fighting Nazis. Like Nazis just aren't that relevant anymore because they don't walk around in Hugo Boss suits anymore. No, I mean that's the thing. It's always Hugo Boss.
You haven't been to America lately.
Okay, well, do they wear Hugo Boss suits? I mean, but they were sexy Nazis, right? They can't afford Hugo
Boss suits, but they dress up as best they can.
But the thing is, they're ridiculous. It's a bit like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
You think of Indiana Jones.
No, but no, he does this because he's at the Hindenburg disaster at one point. James Bond is.
You're thinking of Indiana Jones.
No. Do you want? I can look it up. Maybe I'm thinking of Indiana. No, he definitely fights Nazis. Of course, he fights Nazis, but he's British. That's all we can do. James Bond fighting Nazis.
I thought he just plays roulette and baccarat a lot.
The old ones, he's definitely fighting Nazis.
What do we flip? We flip nothing, but still, reach them up in Fu. 3 and 20, 1,300 each.
Do you know what? I really wish I hadn't Googled this now, because all it is about actors' Nazi past. So yeah.
Yeah, I feel like James Bond was more Cold War, anti-Soviet.
Oh, maybe anti-Soviet. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's definitely a point where some Nazis who managed to avoid justice turn up at some point.
Maybe. No, that wouldn't shock me at all. But we need to reimagine James Bond. Is what is in our modern era? Who is James Bond to us? And I feel like for a lot of these stories, that's really what we want to do. Like, who is James Bond to us now? And it's tough in our incredibly nihilist times to come up with that idea. But that would be interesting. And that's a part of that Idris Elba James Bond concept is that just a different type of person.
My favorite James Bond, and I think it was a Sean Connery movie, was when he manages to dress up as a Japanese person and totally passes, apparently. It's really racist.
Wait, are you sure that wasn't that movie with What's-Her-Face? Breakfast at Tiffany's?
That happens too. No. James Bond, it's an infamous book because the book just is one long hot mess from start to finish. If you read the books, they're not, for modern standards, they're poorly written anyway. Yeah, so I read most of the books as well. But he dresses up as a Japanese person and manages to pass as a Japanese person, and no one questions it. And I think Sean Connery does it as well, and it's just
that seems tricky.
It's I'm like, why did it's not even about racism, it's just totally unbelievable.
Yeah, it's just, no, I think they'd know. I think maybe they were all too polite to tell him that it wasn't who they were.
Why is this dumbass gaijin trying to pretend to be us?
Yeah, they were all just like, don't tell him. It's just awkward. Just let him, it's fine. Just let him think he's doing it. It's fine.
Yeah. I didn't like the first Kingsman film. I kind of liked it, but then they had those constant weird anal sex references that really,
Wait, what?
No, at the very end, but there's references throughout, but it just doesn't make sense. I'm like, you've got this really tight script and good movie, and then you've ruined it with at the end, I don't know, it was really kind of you've got this kind of fun movie, and you did that, that's where you went, oh. Yeah, right. But they allude to the joke coming, throughout the movie, and then that's their punchline. I'm like, did it need this punchline? I don't think so.
It feels like a much more Austin Powers-y thing to do.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. It did feel very.
But in Austin Powers, it was like deliberately over the top. Like, you
Yeah.
knew it was going to be, like, tacky and dumb and over the top, and that was kind of the joke.
Yeah. Yeah, that it was really
How strange.
it was weird. It wasn't even as if I was like repulsed or anything. I was just like,
Super
huh,
reach time.
that's where you went with that.
All right, 6-9, wait. Got to reach Dora. That's not bad.
I demand only the most normal anal sex references. Yes, I
mean,
do.
if you're gonna just refer to it. Just be like, that's a thing that happens sometimes in the world, and then that's it. That's all you need to talk about. These are facts. Hashtag hotfacts.com.
So okay, Chiral thinks that he didn't pass, but they lured them into a trap. And talking about the movie Rising Sun, that was when I found out that guy who plays American Psycho was actually British, and I never knew that. What's that guy's name?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't realize, and it really screwed me up because I was like, my God.
Oh, Christian Bale.
Yeah, he's very young to be faking an English accent. And then I was laughing, I'm like, he is British? I've only ever seen him in American movies, and I only ever heard him with an American accent. So I was really confused and upset, and I think that they should announce themselves at the front of movies, whether they're actually British or American, so that I don't have to become upset later.
So that's a little bug with this client, actually.
What's that?
He declared reach, put the tile down, and the reach stick appeared on the table, but you didn't actually... Ooh,
Right.
Kyushu Kyuhai. Or do you want to go for the...
No, I'm east.
All right, Kyushu.
If I wasn't east, I probably would have.
So yeah, he declares reach, he puts his tile down, and the stick appears on the table, but you don't get the stick because you roamed on the tile he discarded. But it still displayed the stick as being on the table, which I always find to be a little bit...
Yeah, it's a little bit... Yeah.
Oh, great.
But yeah, Rising Sun was weird.
What was Rising Sun?
Rising Sun, it's about... Oh, God, I can't remember which country they're in. And I really should.
Is it Japan?
No. Is it? No.
Wait, is it Empire of the Rising Sun?
It's China. It's China.
Wait, are you thinking, is it Empire of the Rising Sun?
Yeah, maybe. No, they're in Shanghai, right? And they're in... we're mixing the movies. Christian Bale. They're in Shanghai, and they're Americans and they're living there, and then the Japanese occupy China, and they throw all the whiteys into a prisoner of war camp. And then Christian Bale's there as a kid, and he learns to live in a prisoner of war camp. It's a true story, like this.
I think you're talking about. I think it's Empire of the Rising Sun is the movie you're thinking of.
I don't. Well, I was talking about. I thought Troll was talking about that movie. I don't know if there's another Rising Sun movie.
There is a house in New Orleans. There is, in fact, a house in New Orleans they call the Rising Sun. That's an important one.
Yeah, that's quite an interesting movie. Like, and I wouldn't. It's a little bit of it's weird, but.
Well, let me see. I'm gonna see if this is the movie I think.
Mixing. Sorry. We're mixing. I'm mixing the movies.
Oh, I'm sorry. We are mixing them. It is. There's Empire of the Sun, which does star Christian Bale. Empire of the Sun, after Japan's invasion of China during World War II, and he plays Jamie Graham, a British upper middle class schoolboy.
Okay.
He's separated from his parents, and ends up having to like figure out what to do. Yeah, and he grows up in a prison camp. Yeah, like a whole bunch of stuff happens.
Yeah, I apologize, Troll. It's a young Christian Bale, though, and he's got an English accent. That's the takeaway from this conversation. We have not spoken about Mahjong this entire stream.
It's true.
You've really avoided Mahjong conversations.
Well, we're just seeing what happens. You're winning, though, so let's not...
How old was he? How old was he, Dave?
That's a good question. Let's find out.
Yeah. He hadn't learned to American yet. He obviously had not started American Psycho yet.
Well, he's 47. He was born in 1974. And the movie was made in 1987, so he was 13.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
It's pretty young.
Yeah. That's why I was impressed that he could fake an English accent, you know?
No, Khan.
No, because I want to reach and get the 2 euro doors, don't I?
Alright.
But we're starting to get to the end, so now I'm going to ruin it.
Well, now you ruined everything.
I know.
Now you'll never
Honestly,
get
what is a Mahjong stream about, really? Yes, Mahjong is played with 136 tiles, and I won. See, after Dave.
Double East, Dora. That's a good win. Oof. Now you are high above the other players.
I remember when I used to stream, when it was just me, I definitely talked about Mahjong a bit more. No, actually I didn't. People distracted me and I talked about those things instead. I lied.
Oh my god. What is this? What is this hot Cheetoy garbage? This is an Ishanten on Chitoi or just Toy Toy forever. It's your call, because you can't get rid of those Doras.
I love how the in-game guide is like, yes, you should keep the normal 5 in your chi and drop the Aka. Yeah, I'm gonna ignore it.
What are we doing here? Is it Chitoi time?
Whether or not they wear hats during the game, exactly. I hope you're all sat there wearing hats like you're in church. I think it's Chitoi time, right?
Oh, we're going for middle tiles then if it's Chitoi time.
Yeah. Don't know. I'm flirting with all the options still.
Oh dear.
I'm not going to go for so I dropped the Siphon East trail because I'm not going to go for a flush, right? Because these are the Dora here. The ones are the Dora. And this is a Dora. So I'm not going to be doing anything on that side. Unless I guess you could argue that I should have kept them so that I could find a way to get a Yaku. However, 2 Easts had already come out, so that East was kind of fairly dead to me at that point.
The East is definitely dead.
Oh,
you don't
cut the
hold
honors
on
for
to any tile
Chitoi at the best rate. Yeah, okay, yeah. But I think when the South was there and I cut the South, I wasn't thinking about Chitoi. Hadn't quite... I guess I could have thought about it more. The East, obviously, even, you know, it's a nice weight, but there's already 2 of them on the board.
Yeah, no, East is dead. For sure.
I'm always tempted now to try and push for a Toy Toy.
It's going to be a rough push, but it might be worth it.
I feel like I haven't managed to progress within these first 7 discards, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, the problem is people are unlikely to throw the 1 pin, which is, you know, I'm going to need to call that through as well.
And the red 5, which is the only 5 not out yet.
Oh, look, everything's the worst.
Ugh.
Do you want to see how to not play Mahjong? This is how we don't play Mahjong.
Oh my god.
This is how you don't play Mahjong.
You've done this.
This is the worst Mahjong I've played in a long time.
Jeez. And then she aggressively hemorrhaged all value out of her hand to wait for Tanyao Dora 1. What the heck?
Oh, look, I can improve my weight. It's not even a great improvement because there's only 6.
Small improvement.
I can only wait on the 6 and there's only the 1 left, so that was terrible.
Oh, there's your East.
I did say, as I did it, this is a terrible way to play Mahjong, which means it's fine. She's lost it. I know, but playing East aggressively, the 2-5 weight was superior to this single 6 weight that I've managed to create for myself for no good reason. Is the West dangerous?
It hasn't come out at all.
Yeah, I guess it is.
Oh dear.
What is...
Oh my god.
See,
they threw the red 5. You could have kept the 2-5 weight.
I know. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know why I'm waiting on a 6. Like, why would I only wait? There's only 1 6 left, right?
There's 1 3 left. Oh no, there's no 3s
left.
There's
no 3s left.
You are
there's no 3s left.
solo 6 waiting.
Right. 1, 2. No, there's 2 6s left, but the 2-5 weight would have still been better.
Yeah.
It's safe on the Riichi. It is safe on the Riichi.
That is true.
Let's try to find ways that this was not the worst way to play this game.
That is the marginally positive thing about that 6, is that it is safe on the Riichi, so it might come out. And now we have 2 players who are going to discard whatever they get, which actually is pretty good for you, even though we're close to the end.
There you go. I think opposite is playing quite safe. To Ping Chao.
Yeah.
So I'm the last tile draw, though. If I win on the last
tile, God.
I will laugh hysterically.
It'll be all worth it.
It'll be all worth it. And I'll declare myself the best player in the world.
And that ends the game.
I'm so sorry.
All right. All right, Gemma.
sorry. That's over now. And it's my fault. Oh,
I gotta be honest. I'm the only one who should be pulling that crap, alright? You're stealing my moves.
So sorry.
Oh, you're finally at the docile gate. It's a giant docile gate.
How is it gate docile?
That's
I
what they
feel so,
call it.
and do you know what annoys me is that all of my luck got compacted into one East only game.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
whereas I really needed it more spread out.
It was pretty intense.
And I'm a little
Yeah.
bit suspicious now that the entire thing's rigged, because I did say I would get it as the last tile, and then there it came. Suspect.
Yeah.
I'm glad it
That's a
didn't
little-
you, sorry, Joe.
Yes, it should be. That was really dumb.
You're welcome, Rudelaw. I am
But
really
pretty
sorry.
funny.
Don't play. No one should play like that. That is a terrible way to play this game.
That is, in fact, a terrible way to play this game.
I can't believe I threw to Dora. Oh my
Mr. Square
God.
Enix.
Oh,
Hello, I'm Mr. Square Enix.
Dear President Moriyama, if you did see that, I'm so sorry. Don't kick me out. Please don't kick me out.
You make everyone gather around and watch. You
No,
watch what
no,
he does,
no.
watch
I
what
would
he
get
does.
kicked out for that nonsense bollocks. That is a kick-outable offence. Like, there would be, I'd have to stand up. I would have to do apologies. I would have to do, recriminations. Why have I let everyone down? Mahjong and the glory is ruined.
I made a terrible mistake. A dire error of Mahjong judgment. And then I
No,
just called all the time.
if Yoshi P wants to come help me, though, I'll be your.
Yeah, Yoshi P. Well, I think I would Yoshi P. That's
Yeah.
fine. That's just fine.
Yeah, if Moriyama kicks me out, can I join whatever you're doing, Yoshi P? I don't know what it is, but I'll do it.
Everyone likes Yoshi P. I'd hang out with Yoshi P.
I bet
Right.
he's lovely.
Unfortunately, as I have to wander around the world a bit later today, we have hit our time.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe this is the high note Gemma should be
This
going
is
on.
I know. Yeah,
anyway, 'cause
I know.
it's
I'm not
pretty,
playing any more Mahjong. I've done it now. It's done.
Yeah, it's
Quit.
over. We can't do any more Mahjong. It's done. But check out the IORMC qualifiers. It's a cool competition. It's super fun.
If you're
everyone
American,
joining it
if
is
you're
great.
American.
If you're well, I think you can't join if you're not
British,
American.
If you're British, then contact me on
You're American.
on
If you're
Discord.
British,
If you're British, contact me on Discord. I will help you.
you're
If you're none of
proto-American.
those things, then we can try and help you find your people.
We can try.
We'll
We
try.
will.
We will try.
Yeah, but it's a cool competition.
Yeah.
It's gonna be happening later this year. It's gonna be super hype. But for
Otherwise,
now,
the Dolman Mahjong, please do
Yes, join the Dolman Mahjong
register because I'm
tournament.
definitely playing that one. I'm not sure
I'm
if
in it.
I will. Yeah,
So
I'm not
you can
sure if I'll be
crush
playing the
my dreams.
IRMC because I am probably going to let someone else play it because after that nonsense crap, I am not welcome.
Yeah, after that, they should just kick you out. That was really.
So
really
join.
dumb.
So this
Oh, an
is the
ad.
Dolman Mahjong event.
Why are we getting an ad? I'm gonna leave this ad behind. No more ads. We're done. Yeah, kind of WRC League taking new entrants for October. Find them now.
Yeah, Troll. Link your WRC league if you want
Yeah,
to.
link the league. Please,
Yeah.
please feel free. Are
Yes, you should always try for
No,
IRMC.
give it a try. Give it a try. Give it a try.
Yeah,
It's fine.
even-
Just try. Just try.
Even if you don't get it
no
this year,
one,
even if you don't get it this year, you might get it next year. And you're only going to find
no
out.
one is here to
if you try.
gatekeep you. No one is here to gatekeep you. It's a fun time. Go have a fun time. It'll be great. All right. So thank you all for joining us. I'm going to get going to wander, and I'll see you all next week when we play more Mahjong and do a bunch of stuff and talk about how the qualifiers are going.
And we'll talk about more Mahjong next time. Less
Talk a
movie
lot more
talk.
Mahjong. Less
Less
movie talk.
religion and less
Maybe we'll watch a
movies.
film together. We can watch Tenet together.
And there's the kind of the Discord group from
Oh, yeah,
Troll.
kind of Discord group.
And Troll
So
will
join if you
will
are
very ably welcome you and make sure you know how to do this.
super Canadian. All right.
He is very Canadian.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Thank
I'll
you all.
See you next week. Bye for now. Thanks for joining us. Bye, everybody.